Could you please tell everybody your name?
Stephanie C. Jones.
Thank you very much. And this is an interview about love and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would like for you to do is tell me how you and your husband met.
We met when I was working at Rent-A-Tire off of Cumberland and Jefferson. And I was the person renting the wheels and tires. He had already had a set, and he used to come by maybe every 2 weeks, and he would make a payment. And I would bump his payments to another 2 weeks so it wouldn't be due. So that's how I kind of corresponded with him when I first got with him.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
So, yeah.
Now, can you please tell me, what was the moment you knew that he was in love with you?
Okay. He had belonged to a church, Macedonian Missionary Baptist Church, off of Roper Street, in North Park. And I was at Lighthouse Church of God in Christ, off of Corinthia, Illinois. And he was assistant pastor at the time to Pastor Wyatt. And we had hooked up from Rent-A-Tire. He called, I called him back. And from that point, we were deciding which church to go visit. Either it was my church or his. So we had made the decision we were just going to go to Macedonian first. So we went to Macedonian first. And it took me a minute to get dressed. Because, I'm always Princess Di.
Oh my goodness.
Shoes got to match the purse got to match the outfit, the hair got to match the bag. It's just so much I had to do. So once things went good and smooth, I got dressed. Finally asked my mother what was the appropriate attire for me to wear. So I had so many things to choose from. For that Sunday, I just wound up just, I guess, looking like a little China doll. So we left and went to his church. His family was really intrigued by me. His mom and dad was, they really did like me for real. I can't really say about the other people, but the mom and dad was real supportive at one point.
That's good.
And we went out to eat, and he used to open the car door. For the first 3-4 months, he was opening the car door for me. And when you don't really have nobody doing that, and pulling out your seat, and standing up when I'm finna go to the restroom, he's a real gentleman, real gentleman. And I was so impressed. I really was, because I had dated a lot of people that just wasn't, it was kind of like floozies, loose screws. So, but Alan was a true gentleman. He really was.
But I want you to tell me in your mind if you can remember that point where it went from, okay, this is just this dude that's taking me out, or this is my boyfriend and we kicking and we hanging out. At what point did you say in your mind, like, this man really loves me? Like, he loves me. Like, I know it's something different on how he's treating me or how he feels about me than how
he would feel about anybody else. I want to say the relationship took to another level, if you know what I mean.
Oh, so that's when you knew?
Yeah, because we wasn't intimate at first, but we started becoming intimate with each other, and that's something I wanted, because when I first saw him, he was what he was, and he just came out the service, and he looked very handsome, intriguing, and I was like, oh God, I got to. So, after that happened, we have been together ever since.
Oh, wow. So, on the flip side of that, if it's different, how did you know when you were in love with him? And it wasn't just any other man or a nice man, that you were like, you really loved him. This is somebody you could possibly be with long term, like forever.
Because I knew that he was striving to do God's will. He was really trying to do right by Christ.
So would you say it was because you consistently saw his lifestyle and made you love him?
Yeah.
Aww.
And it, my thing has always been sharing is caring, caring is sharing. I teach my kids that all the time. And you can't have something with somebody if you're not going to care for them. You can't have something with somebody if you're not going to share with them. So we did a lot of sharing when we first got together. My ice cream, his glass would be mine, and then my candy would be his candy. So we would share a whole lot with each other. And to me, just the size of that, seeing that from him was very important. Because a lot of times, you get some people that you may go out a date with or have a relationship with, they really don't want to give you their last. So once you start seeing that a person is willing to give you they last with a lot of fuss, that's something good.
That's very true.
And it's rare.
How many years were y'all together, married?
We were married 18 years.
Wow.
We were together for 20.
Wow. So out of all of those years that y'all were together, what is the one thing you love the most about him?
He was in the Word. And a lot of times I really didn't want to bend. I didn't. I was a rebellious wife. I didn't want to come in compliance. I didn't want to change. I figured that as long as he was doing what he was doing, we were all good. But the Lord started to show me there's order. There is God first, then there's man, then there's woman, and then there's child. And in order for us to see God in peace, you have to suffer yourself to be defrauded. Because a lot of times it's not about me. It's about thus said the Lord. And I think a lot of times when I dealt with Alan on different occasions, he always showed that. Even if I didn't want to hear it, no matter how I was feeling, no matter what it looked like, he always showed that. Even when times when we got into it, and my marriage wasn't peaches and cream, because we had separated for a little bit, and I came back, and never came back. So marriage is for maturity. It's for maturity.
So with that being said, if there was anything that you could change about your marriage, what would it be?
I think I would have changed the being more obedient to him. If I had the chance to start over again, if I could go back to when I first had my oldest, Alan, the obedience is what was keeping him savvy. And then plus, a lot of times men don't want to fight with an unruly woman. You can't get nothing from nobody like that. You can't draw bees to vinegar like that. They only drawn to honey.
And this is coming from personal experience.
Yes.
That you can say this?
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
Very good. What do you think that he loved the most about you?
Oh my God. He said, before the passing, he said, the personality, the smiling, the big eye gestures, and always telling him how I truly felt. He respected it no matter if it was good or ugly. And a lot of times it may came out ugly, but it was the truth.
If this is your last question, if he were here and you only had one last thing that you could say to him, what would it be?